The latest twist in the Great Resignation. Retiring but Social Security. I love articles like this. Many of y'all have sent this to me, so I salute you, my friends. I salute you with a good old Josh Scanlon 11B salute. Drive on, people. Drive on. All right. So here we got a lady here. Let's just read the Cecilia something and Pat Harrell play pickleball at John Knox Continuing Care Retirement Community in Pompeo Beach, something like that. CCRC. Has anyone done videos on CCRCs? Yeah, your boy. For better off Americans. I like how they start off. For better off Americans. The pandemic economy creates some of the strongest incentives to get the hell out of Dodge. And they're doing it. Many of these retirees also opted to not just tell their bosses to take a hike, but they put off claiming Social Security. By delaying their benefits, these retirees can expect to collect higher monthly checks in the future. The number of workers applying for Social Security benefits in the last 12 months fell by 5%, which is the biggest drop in almost 2 decades. That's what I'm talking about, man. The biggest drop of number of workers applying for Social Security in 2 decades. Well, because we have almost 2 decades of a bull market. Makes sense. I bet that right there is 2009, right there. When the most people were applying for Social Security when the markets are going kabust. Continue reading. During the same period, retirements among workers 65 to 69 are up 5. Yeah, that's a little bit misleading. Retirements among workers 65 to 69 were up by 5% because don't forget, you can still retire 62 and defer to take Social Security. It's a little bit misleading there. The number of workers applying for Social Security fell by the biggest number in 2 decades. But you can't say. Yet the number of workers 65 to 69 were up 5%. A little bit misleading. It's not clear how many of those who retired early delayed Social Security benefits, as BLS doesn't track those numbers exactly. Or don't only that, retirements. Do they ask you, I'm retiring? I mean, you might just quit your job at 65 and you're saying I'm going to work for a guy who doesn't mandate things. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what exactly does retirement mean? I mean, I've never quit a job and said I'm retiring. Do they do if you're 65? I don't think they do. Just I'm going to someplace else. I don't know. America's retiree population grew by about 3 million during the pandemic. Again, retirement, does that mean you're not working at all? Like, we got to define retirement. Define it. Because what if you're working part-time? Yeah, I don't know. I find it interesting to say you're retiring. What if you quit your main job but you're going to do something else? The surprising surge in older Americans delaying Social Security upon retirement is another example of a number of unusual trends roiling the American labor market. Most notably, workers of all ages are quitting jobs in record numbers. The Great Resignation. Oh, I love that. Economists and other people attribute the trend in generous federal stimulus aid and unemployment insurance. What? Oh. Nothing to do with unemployment insurance. If you quit your job, you don't get unemployment, friggin' fools. Federal stimulus, maybe. I mean, I get that, but again, did you get the stimulus if you quit? Nah. The point is soaring stock price and home prices and pandemic-related. They're actually saying pandemic-related restrictions at the Social Security field offices. Maybe. But why did people quit their crappy old jobs? We know. They're saying, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. Social Security benefits rose 5.9% for roughly 70 million people. Usually in economic downturns, we see increased reliance on Social Security and thought that that's what's going to be coming with the pandemic, says somebody. The claiming numbers just don't show that at all. You think? All right. Social Security also allows most people to enroll early as 62, but steadily increases monthly payments so those enroll later. Yep, we know that. Some other economists said the unusual rates in retirements, especially among women, is probably driven by an unprecedented nature of the crisis. Health concerns are unique to this recession and may be playing a role, especially because workers 65 and older are less likely to be able to telework than younger. I don't know about that, but I'd say because they're more likely to die from pandemic. We know that. So you're like, I'm not dying at your crappy old job. I guess what they're saying is if you're 65 and you quit, that means you're retiring. I don't agree with that at all. The coronavirus pandemic has made workplaces far more dangerous for those who are older and in vulnerable health. I agree with that. Prompting an unusual way for retirements among a population has accrued a bit of a nest egg. Just talked to some people today. Good people, not getting the jabby jabbers. They don't have $1 million, and they're gonna be just fine. And I told them, you got to spend more, dude. You got to spend more. You know why? Because they don't spend that much. They got no debt. There's freaking, dude operates heavy mechanics, just making $52,000 a year, but he's been doing it for a long time. They get no debt, and it's just I'm not taking the jabby jab, and if they force me, I'm leaving anyway. So it's freaking awesome. I don't know how that will show up here, but let's see. We got Fawn Michelle, a CPA in Port Orchard, Washington, retired at 62, but doesn't plan to take Social Security until she's 70. Yeah, right on, man. As long as they kept their expenses near their pandemic lows, she could afford to retire without taking Social Security early. Yes. As her firm returned to the office, she wouldn't have to drive the 2+ hours to work each day. And jeez, have to drive the 2+ hours to work in a Seattle suburb each day. Why would you do that? Then drive 2+ hours back. I just decided I had enough, When you have friends or family dying from something like this, I'm thinking life's too short. These experts have not yet settled on one easy explanation for why people are retiring early and delaying Social Security. I think it's simple. They recognize that they have a boom in the markets, 100%. And you can't blame them, man. Well, they might have already paid off their debt. Let's see. We talked about stimulus payments. I don't believe at all in the stimulus payments. Extended unemployment, that doesn't make any sense. Extended unemployment doesn't make sense. For example, Marilyn, who spoke about on the condition of anonymity, said she never expected to be able to quit her job at age 65, but during the pandemic, she paid off her car with stimulus checks and watched her nest egg grow as expenses plummeted. There you go, man. But it's not because of stimulus checks she's getting forward. I get that, actually. I get what she's saying. She was able to use that money to pay off debt. Right, 100%. In the coming year, she hopes to be able to work part-time. Exactly. 100%, man. It's not a labor shortage. It's a great reassessment of work in America. Yeah, all that stuff's good. I freaking love it, man. Many early retirees told the Post they were surprised this year to see how much soaring stock and home prices have improved their financial situation. Yeah. More than half Americans 55 to 64 have retirement accounts, and 3/4 of them own their own home as of 2019. If you own your own home, I just don't understand why people are so afraid of retiring. I don't get it. So here we got Cheryl Miller, who used to play for USC basketball. Now plans to retire from a job in academic medicine in a matter of months. She won't collect Social Security. She's burned out at work, and Congress should be content. It doesn't want the jabby jabbers. All right, that's good stuff, man. All right, we'll do another article on right here, quitting the job in record numbers. I love that. I love it. All right. Well, I hope that's you, my friends, because this is good stuff. You got to revisit this because other people are doing it. And you don't just do it because the markets are high, but you take some gains off the table to live off those free gains, and that way you can defer Social Security. All right. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.